The first time you played a mother was K3G? Or
Was
before
it?
that? No,
I think so.
K3G, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but you weren't like a real life mom till then.
No, I wasn't. No, I
But
wasn't.
then the next time you played it in Fana, you were.
Yeah, well, I'm happy because I don't remember my filmography, but you remember it,
I-
thank God.
but is it very different when when you have become a mother to play a mother on screen as opposed to when you did it in K3G?
I think most women have that slightly motherly tendency, I would say.
Hmm.
But yes, body language does come more naturally after
Mhm.
you have your own child.
Hmm.
And there are lots of things that you do instinctively as a mother that you would not as a person who has never had kids before.
Mhm. When we'll think of K3G, we think of the scene where you get up and run to the stage and बोले सीटी तो मैं मारूंगी मेरा बेटा पहली बार
बिल्कुल.
परफॉर्म कर रहा है. Are you like that in real life?
I am, and trust me, it really embarrasses my children.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids have much more severe reactions to it than that poor child ever did.
Can you recall any incident?
Lots. I've stood at Yug's, I think, every musical, and Nissa's, all of her stage performances, where, she's in the middle of like 15 other girls, and I'm standing over there and clapping, and she's so बहुत सारी बार हुआ है. And so lots of times really.
Yeah, I think another time you played a mom was in You Me or Hum with Jay as your husband and director.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah. It still scares me. I don't know if you remember the scene where you're pregnant and you're skipping the ropes because you've forgotten, because you have Alzheimer's and you've forgotten you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Do you remember how tough was it to shoot that scene and just to think of a mother who has forgotten that she is going to be a mother?
Yeah, it was scary, and it was scary for everybody around us as well. It was a frightening thing to see, not for me so much as an actor, because as an actor you're just doing it. You're not really worried about के क्या होने वाला है, क्योंकि आपको पता है वहाँ पे लगा हुआ है, it's fake. But to see it on screen was just gave you this real shocking feel to it. Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah. Equally scary was in My Name is Khan when your son dies. Yeah. And it still gives me goosebumps how you cried in that scene.
Yeah, me too.
So, did it come to you naturally, or was there something you did in that scene because it was so visceral?
It was visceral, and I remember shooting for that scene, and I remember telling Karan that I'm only going to give you one take. So you better make sure that you have all your cameras lined up. Don't ask me for close-ups. Don't ask me to do this again, because I don't think I can do this again. And, we did it. And after the scene got over, I think I kept crying for another, 10 minutes. Karan was crying by the end of it. I was crying by the end of it. And we were both hugging each other and crying. So, yeah, it took a little while for it all to subside. Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm going dark, but in We Are Family, you play a mother who's terminally ill and she has to give...
Now you're really making it sound like I only do films where I'm mother. I'm playing
No, I have picked out
mother.
those. As opposed to Salam Venki, where your child is, terminally
So
ill.
you're right, I've only been playing mothers.
But how difficult it is to play a mother who's like, it's almost like a star-crossed relationship that it's not going to last, but you're still playing it.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
In both, We Are Family
in both,
as well.
I think it's in Salam Venki, it's the opposite really. It was it was like my worst nightmare come to life really. It's you just can't do anything about it, and you have to watch your child as is, with a wonderful personality, with everything going for him, just waste away and die in front of you. So I think that is something that as a parent is probably your worst nightmare. And I actually almost refused the film. Yeah. So I told Revati at that point of time that I don't know whether I want to do this film or not. But I'll hear you out, but I don't know whether I want to do this film or not. But of course, then I heard her out, and I actually went ahead and did the film because she's such a fabulous director that I thought I deserved her.
Yeah, even we are family just to train Karina's character to be mom to your children.
Yeah.
It's such a tough space to be in
Yeah,
as a character.
absolutely, absolutely. There are so many nuances, so many
Hmm.
layers underneath it, all of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was also quite a challenging role to play.
Yeah, but enough of darkness, I think. How fun was it to play a helicopter mom and helicopter Ila?
It was great fun. It was
Are you a
really,
helicopter
really good
mom?
fun. I was not anymore that much.
Hmm.
I think because my children have grown up and they'd probably kill me if I even tried to be it. But I was at one point. I definitely was. And I think it's natural for most mothers or, who have that responsibility thrust onto them. And she was a single mother at that point of time. For her to have to manage everything on her own.
Yeah.
So you're so used to managing everything on your own that you don't know where to draw the line as far as independence is concerned. So that's something that I learned from life also. So it was easy for me to identify with Ila.
Yeah. And finally, when you played a mom in Tribhang, she is going through her own mommy issues. And,
exactly.
And then she figures out that she's doing the same thing to her daughter, like subconsciously. How have you dealt with that as a mom, to not let your children get stuck in the same patterns that maybe you did? To have them a mind of their own.
I think you can't stop certain things. You can't, regardless of however much you try. There are certain things that you can't stop. But what you can do is probably give them different reasons, to have therapy rather than the same reasons that you had therapy for. No, I'm just kidding, honestly. I think what you can do as a parent is just simply because today's children are very different from what we were. My children today at 9 and 10 were far more informed, intelligent, and aware of the world than I was at 9 and 10. So I had no clue at 9 and 10, what the world was about, or the world was much safer then. Now, because of the internet, because of everything, it's a completely different world. So today's children have to be brought up differently from what we were. So we have tried to keep that in mind, keep the changing world in mind, and not be too rigid about not allowing the difference to make too much of a difference in our upbringing.